Chris woke with a smile he didn't plan, one that stretched across his face before reason could stop it. He had dreamt of Lena again, her laughter echoing through soft light, her hand brushing his cheek like she was still beside him. When he opened his eyes, her voice still lingered in the room. His hands ran through his hair as he tried to shake the dream away, but it clung to him like a whisper he couldn't unhear. He reached for his phone and texted her. "Good morning, sweet Lena. I hope you slept well." He read it once, twice, decided it was simple and honest, and pressed send. He went into the bathroom, humming softly, the tile cool against his bare feet. The water hit his shoulders in a clean, steady rhythm. He closed his eyes, letting the warmth slide over him, and for a moment he pictured her. He smiled again, shaking his head. "Stop it, man," he murmured to himself. "You'll go crazy thinking about her in the shower." But he didn't stop. He liked it. The memory of her calmed him. He dressed in the clothes that felt right for the mood. A crisp white shirt with red and blue stripes, navy trousers that fit just well enough to remind him that life could still feel put together. He rolled his sleeves once, just enough to be casual. Then he stood back. It stretched thin, humming under his ribs, turning every second into a minute. He checked the time again. Almost an hour had passed since he sent that one small message. The cup of tea beside him had gone cold. He hadn't even touched the toast. But logic rarely wins when love begins to worry. Without thinking, he grabbed his jacket, slung it over his shoulders, and stepped outside. Chris rang the doorbell and stood there, waiting, but no one answered. Panic set in as he recalled Maria's bruised face. He started to worry, wondering why he hadn't checked the security footage earlier. With urgency, he pressed the bell again. Panic had nearly eaten him alive. "Chris?" Lena blinked at him in surprise, standing in the doorway in her silky robe, her damp hair falling softly over her shoulders. He didn't even answer. In that rush of relief, he just caught her gently by the waist, lifting her off the ground and spinning her once before setting her back down, laughing breathlessly. He kissed her cheek, then her hands, as if to reassure himself she was real. Lena laughed, startled but touched. "Chris! What's happening? Is everything okay?" He exhaled, still catching his breath. "No," he admitted, smiling shakily. "But now, yes, I sent you a message earlier and rang your bell. You didn't answer. I got worried." Her expression softened immediately. "Oh, I didn't hear it. I was in the shower. And then something happened with the water. Come, please. I needed help. The pipe cracked. The water's been leaking everywhere." He followed her in, the sound of dripping echoing off the tiles. A thin line of water ran along the floor. She pointed at the pipe under the sink, bending slightly, her robe slipping a little at the shoulder. Chris swallowed hard, kneeling to inspect the leak. He tightened the valve swiftly, using the small wrench she had, his soldier's precision showing in his calm, efficient movements. "It's closed now," he said quietly. "You'll need someone to fix it properly later." "Thank you," she said, standing close, her voice soft. He nodded, trying not to look at her, but she was right there, bare feet, damp hair, the silk fabric brushing lightly against her skin. He could feel his pulse rise, the faint scent of her soap drawing him in. "Control yourself," he told himself silently. "Don't ruin this moment." No. Maria. His mind flashed back to her bruised face, her trembling hands, her warning. He hid his concern with a calm nod. "Do you want me to come with you?" Lena looked surprised. "Oh, no, I can manage. I'll just give her what I owe and come back." Chris smiled faintly, though his jaw tightened. "All right, but promise me you'll call me after." She tilted her head, smiling gently. "You worry too much, Chris." He looked at her quietly, his voice low. "Maybe I have reason to." Lena held his gaze for a second too long before looking away, her heart fluttering. "All right," she said softly. "I'll call you." As she turned to put away the dishes, he looked at her once more and told himself silently, "You're not going anywhere near Maria alone." Chris was really wrestling with himself. One part of him urged, "Go for it, Chris, just ask her." But then another part cautioned, "Don't put too much pressure on yourself, Chris." Still, the idea of something happening to Lena weighed on his mind. Finally, he just blurted out a question to Lena about Maria. "Lena," he began gently, "I wanted to ask, how did you first meet Maria?" Lena paused, resting her hands on the table. "When I got my green card, my cousin Sandy searched online for addresses where new immigrants could register," she explained. "That's how we found Maria's address. Sandy helped me pay her a little to use it until I arrived. Chris frowned slightly. So Sandy didn't really know her personally? Lena shook her head. No, she didn't. Maria wasn't kind, but I still thank her. At least she helped me start. Chris nodded slowly. And if you give her the money, are you sure she'll admit you paid? Lena hesitated. That's what worries me, too. I wish you had time. We could go together. He smiled softly. We can. Come by during my break or after work. I'll finish early today, so around 4. Lena's eyes lit up. That would be better. Inside, Chris silently thanked God. At least I'll be there if anything happens. He stood, grabbing his jacket. Let me go change before Mr. Lee starts calling, he said with a grin. Have a good day, Lena smiled, walking him to the door. Just as he stepped out, her phone buzzed, her mother calling. To be continued tomorrow at 6 p.m. If you need any part that you might have missed, just send me a message about The Promise and let me know which part you're looking for. Thanks.